go with my other lens back on, but I kind of like the macro lens on here again, because it gives me a little more, it's not as wide, but it's more of like a perspective of my head. So I missed yesterday, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tie two leadership images together and put the constants and variables one in below, because it ties to this sort of image. So my friend Zainab and I, and Zainab is below, we're talking about waves, and how when you surf a wave, how you have to look ahead at the formation of a wave, and I've thought about this in every single context, which is why this is about constants and variables. I posted this video in 2015 in September, and I am still thinking about this idea. That's how powerful it is. This ties as well with Tim Elmore's image about driving and how when you drive a car, you gaze forward and you glance backward. There's this idea that when we're facing something and we're preparing to solve solutions and solve problems, it's good to attend at great things at small beginnings and catch problems early on when they begin to happen instead of waiting until after they become worse. Constants and variables applies really well to all the leadership images that can be represented with this idea. Multiple leadership images can teach the same principle. So in a way, constants and variables is actually the leadership image about how other leadership images all represent the same idea. You can probably think of some examples where you notice something that needs to be tweaked, but you decide not to fix it immediately and you can wait. Well, Dr. Tim Elmore, his image of building a fence at the top of a cliff instead of a hospital at the bottom. We can create a roadblock or some sort of mechanism or habit in which we can notice something before it becomes a very, very big problem. Fixing a faucet when it begins to drip, stopping a fire when it first starts, when you notice a small flame start to form instead of waiting for it to go ablaze. Looking at a turn as it approaches so you're prepared for it. When you ice skate, when you do anything and you have to look ahead, you can be prepared for the change that's coming instead of making it a rude awakening. So BioShock Infinite, the idea of constants and variables and the end of the game, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but it talks about how there are things that are consistent in the reality that we experience and there are things that change. It's sort of like the water bottle. The water bottle changes the outside, but the water on the inside is the timeless truth that we experience. You can see how leadership images apply so well to this idea because I can literally pull them from my brain consistently and give you the same sort of fundamental truth with just a different form. The essence of the candy is the same, the wrapper is different. So my idea of leadership images really formed from that constants and variables saying, because these images are just tangible ways to think of fundamental truths, to think of ideas and make them sort of applicable to the reality, because an idea isn't something you can really hold. But if you can see a process of some kind or something grounded in reality that's tangible, that you can see and notice and understand and analyze and evaluate, that's an easier way to appreciate an idea when you can literally see it in action. The link to constants and variables is below, which is the video I made 2 years ago in the fall. That's crazy. It's just all connected all of the time. The water bottle of timeless truths. It's actually only 9:30, so I've got plenty of time to get this up. Keep being you, DeepTBA. I will see you tomorrow. That's 2 images. We are caught up. Enjoy. The light is flickering. I probably should journal and go to sleep in Discord. Good night. Thank you. Everybody, Polka.